We're talking about the king of Assyria, and we're talking about pride this morning. One of the things that the Bible tells us is that God sent the Assyrians against the 10 northern tribes of Israel as a judgment upon them. It says in chapter 10 of Isaiah, verse 5, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation. Against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. So how's the king of Assyria going to act? How's he going to react in this situation? Well, he's going to become incredibly prideful. And that's going to bring God's judgment upon him. In verse 12, it goes on to say, Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. You see, God always opposes the proud. It says in the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 6, But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. If you and I want grace from God, we must humble ourselves before God. When we come to God with a prideful attitude, God always resists that, even in someone that he is using, like the king of Assyria. So what did it look like, this pride? Well, here's what the king of Assyria said. For he saith, By the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom. For I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasuries, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And my hand hath found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. That was his attitude. My strength, my wisdom, I'm the one who came in here and did this. I reached into this people and I took their spoil, just like coming to a nest and taking the eggs out of it. So what's God have to say about that? Well, he asks a great question. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood. This is God's response. Does the axe boast after a tree has been felled? Well, of course not, because the axe can do nothing except it be swung by whoever's swinging it. Does the saw boast once the tree is on the ground, once it's cut up into chunks? No, it can't boast. I mean, the only way that the saw can do anything is in the hands of the people that are using it. And this is what God is saying. The king of Assyria is an instrument. He is a tool in the hand of God. For him to boast himself that he has done these things is just as foolish as if an axe were to boast that it had felled the tree. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. You see, the king of Assyria he's strong, he's powerful, he's wise, he's got this great plan. But what he's refusing to do is he is refusing to acknowledge that God has given him the wisdom. God has opened the door for him to come into this land. God has given him the strength and the might and the power and has set him up for this particular time. And instead of humbling himself and recognizing what God has done, he has lifted up his heart with pride. And God says, well, because he's done this, I'm going to have to knock him down a few notches. The fat ones are going to become lean. Now, I don't want that in my life. I know you don't want that in your life either. And so I just want to encourage you. Pride is something that God always resists. Humility is something that God always rewards. God gives his grace to the humble, but the proud he resists. Let's humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God today. God bless you. Hope you have a great day.